Okay, what we have here is a cutting mat. Now, you can't just feed paper in this thing. It won't cut it that way. You can feed it black. You can feed it vinyl, and it'll cut straight on the vinyl. That's not an issue. But paper, So you need some sort of mat that supports paper. And I'm going to line the paper in here the way it wants it aligned. Okay? It's got a sticky surface to hold the paper. I'm opening it up, and I'm going to feed the paper in here. Now, it may or may not take this paper outright. We will see. I'm trying to get this aligned the way it's supposed to be. And load paper with carrier. And I just push a button and it loads the paper. Okay? So that paper is loaded. Now let's zoom this back out so that you guys got a wider field of view. And move the camera a little bit. There we go. And what I'm going to do is click up here and send it to the cutter. Alright? Now on the screen up here, it allows me to position, oops, I did not want to position that. That was where I wanted it. It should allow me to position this thing on the cutting mat a little bit better than this. I'm going to go ahead and send that to the cutter, and we're going to see what happens. So, I just sent it to the cutter. And it's going to town on the cutter, sorry guys. And the cutter's going to town on it. Making all sorts of nice little sounds. And we patiently await. I'll probably speed this part up. Doesn't that sound like fun? Scrapbook people probably will love one of these. Guys, that's how you convince your wife to let you buy one. It's for the scrapbooking. We can both use it. Am I horrible or what? Being honest. Now, they do make some other ones. Don't buy a circuit. The circuit cutter, you have to buy particular fonts, you have to buy particular cartridges to do things with it. Not this thing. This hooks straight up to the PC. You can import your own fonts, you can import your own everything. I did some research before I bought this one. It's even cheaper than a circuit cutter. I don't know how close to done this is. We'll see. In a few minutes. They'll spit it out when it's done, so we'll know. Ooh! Godzilla feet! We're gonna stomp it! I forgot I had these up here. King Ghidorah feet, that's what those are. King Ghidorah feet. I have to put them someplace good. Not quite done yet. Getting close up. One thing about this thing, while I'm thinking about it, let's talk about a few things. It comes with its own special mats like this one, but you can buy the circuit mats and they fit in there if you trim them a little bit. Circuit mats can be found at any big box hobby shop, like a Michael's or a Hobby Lobby. The Silhouette, I don't think you can find it in that many places, but the Silhouette's popular enough and there's lots of online media and stuff, so, I mean, lots of places that sell this thing online. I got this from Amazon.com if I remember correctly. So you can find it easily enough. All you have to do is look. Okay? And again, I'm doing a trial run with paper just to make sure everything's aligned correctly so I don't waste my vinyl. I bought the vinyl at my local Hobby Lobby, and it was not expensive. if I remember correctly. This thing's taking a while. Still working. Still working. And I'm going to say it again, it's still working, but you know that because you can hear it. Godzilla sound keychain. Everyone needs one. Can you tell I'm bored? While we wait, we can get out some silly putty. No, we're not. Silly putty is greasy, and I don't want greasy stuff on what I'm doing. Did not know silly putty would be greasy, but I should not be surprised by that. Oh, helps you put the egg back together the right way. Ever wonder what it would be like to look through the world with a lazy eye? You can tell I'm bored, right? This is taking a long time. Uh-oh. Thunderpaws is investigating down here. In case you guys haven't been keeping track, Thunderpaws has put on 5 pounds in a month, it seems like. The little guy is growing. I can see the difference in his size from week to week. It's done! So let's see if that stayed on the mat. Oh yeah, it stayed on the mat perfectly. So, we're ready to cut some vinyl here. And you guys can't see it that well, but I can. It's going to work perfectly where I want it on the sign. So I am ready to cut some vinyl. So let me get some vinyl out. Good. Glad to hear you passed it. Alright, here's my vinyl sheet. We're going to open the lid up. Oop, got to pull it this way a little bit. And we're about to cut some vinyl here. My vinyl is too wide for the silhouette, so I'm going to have to cut my vinyl sheet down to size, unfortunately. That's not that big of a deal. So let me take a cutter and a ruler and cut. Let's not do this in one continuous. Well, everyone, it's done cutting. Now the fun part begins. I need to get some transfer film. Put that on transfer film and clean it up so I can transfer it. Some things are bothering me a little bit because there's a few too many white spots here, and I'm going to have to look at it under magnifying glass and find out what's going on and see how that works. I'm busily cleaning off my cut mat too, getting all the extra fonts off of it. I've already saved the file, so I can do this again later if I need to. I'll be back later once I put the transfer film on it and show you how that works. By the way, having trouble cleaning the letters off your your cutting mat? Masking tape. Takes them right off there. There you go. The tip of the day for working with a silhouette or any other of these home paper cutter, vinyl cutter things. And one other thing, I took a good look at the printout, the cutout. I'm going to have to redo it. My font was a little too small on the letters, and that's why I was having trouble with it. But that's okay. I can up the size of the font a teeny bit and just recut it. It'll be good. If it was 18-point font, if I up it to about 15-point font, 25-point font, it'll still fit on the stand just fine. And I don't think I'll have that problem with the letters being cut up. So there you guys go. I'll show you how to transfer it after I make another pass. Back in a bit. I'm back. Now I want to talk for a minute. My first cut of this thing, this one, didn't come out all that well. The cutter was automatically pulling some of the letters apart, and after doing some thinking about it, the font size was too small. It was beyond the resolution of Mr. Cutter down here. So I upped the font size a little bit and it fixed everything. Everything came out just fine this time around. So just keep that in mind. You got to use bigger than 14-point font, which on the cutter head is actually pretty small. Okay, it just can't cut that small. So what I did is I upped it to 20-point font, and it came out just fine. There's a few spots where it didn't like the 20-point font, but just keep that in mind. You're going to have to use a cutter size 20-point font or larger. Not that big of a restriction actually, because I did some pretty intricate cursive work on the Corsair plane. But anyhow, here's the new cutout. I don't know if you can't really see much of that because of the way it is. I'm gonna put it on some transfer film and start picking things apart. Actually, I'm gonna pick things apart before I put it on the transfer film. So I'll show you how that looks in a minute. So let me get going on that, so you'll see what I'm gonna put on the transfer film. Back in a little bit. We're at the part of our museum tour where we're gonna look at rocks. Lots and lots of darkly lit rocks. Like this guy. Colors are washed out on the video camera because that's a much deeper red in person. They got everything dimly lit, so it looks like the rock just exploded outwards and froze in place. Or a huge cotton ball. Can you imagine cleaning makeup off your face with that thing? Look, it's snow on a rock. Either that or it's mold growing on pizza. I can't figure out which. Unfortunately, again, my camera's not picking this thing up in all of its glory. It's a dark, dark red. The camera's washing it out and making it pinkish. Let's see if I can fix that.